Many of us will be waking up to a very unsettled start to the new working week, all courtesy of Storm Debbie, providing this wave of gales severe for a time along coastal areas of the Irish Seas.
So I was hoping to get this video on smack flips out and done here for real. However, Storm Debbie has hit the UK, and although it's blue skies, it is phenomenally windy. It could be perhaps later today the wind eases up a bit and we manage to get out and maybe do some of this for real. But at the moment when I do them, you can't actually tell what's going on. Because the model is fighting the wind one way and flying the other way, it's actually difficult to tell what I'm aiming for. So I think we're going to have to hit the simulator on this one. Let's go inside.
So normal flips look something like this. It has a little pop in the beginning to get upwards inertia, but then collective stays around center to get a clean flip, and towards the end the flip rate slows so you get it to stop nicely. A smack flip is more like a three-pointed flip. It starts the flip with collective and elevator, and as soon as it gets to vertical, you reverse the collective. The model swings up. Just before horizontal, you pop the collective the other way, which forces the model down, and then as it gets level, you reverse the collective again, and you're into a hover. If we look at this slowly, elevator and collective start together. When the model gets vertical, collective is reversed while the elevator stays where it is. As it approaches horizontal, the collective switches again so to pull the model towards the ground, and then when level and no lateral movement, you pop it and it stops in a hover. So you can learn these by starting big and slow. Get to the vertical position, change collective, and the second collective change happens just before you get horizontal, and then bring it down. By the way, the vertical angle depends on the wind. If you're doing them into wind, you want to go beyond vertical before the collective change, and if you're doing them with a downwind start, you want to reverse the collective slightly before vertical, so it doesn't get blown away. And if you do these with flips, you should do them with rolls as well. Instead of a soft roll, it becomes a three-pointer where the model is thrown at the ground and stopped with a pop of collective. And it works the same way the elevator does. Aileron and collective until it gets vertical. Reverse the collective so it swings up, and just before horizontal, punch it towards the ground. And as you get into position, pop the collective and into a hover. You learn them in the same way as well. Make it bigger and slower, and you should be safe doing it this way as you're well away from the ground at the point of changing collective. So one word of warning I can give you is don't do these low until you feel super confident. As many pilots have found, myself included, it's way too easy to get confused in the initial stages where you get the collective wrong and you pound the helicopter into the ground. And even when you've got them, but you want to turn up the aggressiveness, take it a little higher and get the feeling going before you bring them low. Now that we've got the collective popping nicely, another move you can do are throwdowns. This is basically any maneuver where you throw the helicopter at the ground and pop it to save it. They're quite similar to smack flips in that way. So if we do them with elevator, it's up, back off the collective, let it rotate, and then collective to throw it at the ground. Pop it, then up the other way, and repeat. You'll see a lot of them in top pilots' flights all the time. They love throwing their helicopters at the ground. And if we do them with elevator, we can do them with aileron as well. Same thing, up, stop, let it rotate, and then down and pop, and then back the other way. You should get some nice blade noise when doing these with a decent handful of collective.
Right, so I've come out a little bit later to have a look at what the conditions are like. So the skies are still blue. It's actually nice and warm. It's about 12 degrees. However, it is still phenomenally windy. I mean, this is probably the peak of Storm Debbie here now. So I don't think we're going to be able to finish this one flying a little helicopter in this wind. So I think we're going to carry on with the simulator and then we'll see what it's like at the end of the day.
When you've got the standard throwdowns working, you can start putting some half Piros in. This is a really nice maneuver and is still under control, so it isn't too difficult. Take it slow, figure out the stick movements, and you'll soon get the hang of these. And if you can do half Piro throwdowns, you might as well do pirouetting throwdowns as well. This is far more difficult as the pirouette speed is high and there is no consistent stick movement. You just have to practice a lot. In full flip throwdowns, you do a complete flip. We'll start upright in the middle, and then flip forward to an inverted throwdown, then flip back the other way to upright, and then to another inverted throwdown. It's quite nice looking, and it stands on its own as a maneuver. In a future video, we'll be looking at Piro pogos, and to do them well, you should be able to do a 3-point flip at the top. And of course, it will need to be pirouetting. This will give you a really aggressive looking turnover and make it easier to come down straight. Not easy when you have to do them high up, but it's just practice, right? In conclusion, 3-point flips and throwdowns aren't just for smack pilots. You don't have to do them on the deck, and they can be fun and useful for everyone. You'll get to use the collective stick much more aggressively than you normally would, and any sort of practice like that is going to be good for your flying. If you've enjoyed this intro to smack, let me know in the comments and we can make some more of these. Until next time.